Good afternoon. Subcommittee comes to order. Clerk will open the roll for attendance, please. All right, clerk will close the roll. We have a quorum. First bill before us, we'll call up Senator Jordan. Senate Bill 1275.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair, members of the subcommittee. Before you today, I have Senate Bill 1275. With this bill, it comes directly from a request I first had from the city of Emporia, but we sat down and had a stakeholder conversation about how we can help other localities across the Commonwealth, specifically when it comes to economic development opportunity. What this bill currently, what the legislation will do is for those localities that are under 35 square miles, if they have 25 acres or more, they would qualify for pad-ready sites. As it sits now in the code, only 100 acres or more would qualify to be able to apply for those funds. So this would help places in those smaller square miles. So for instance, if you have towns or cities in larger counties, this will allow them a competitive opportunity at least. This would apply to places that many of you represent, like Fredericksburg, the city of Fairfax, the city of Portsmouth, which I represent part of, the city of Hopewell, and like places like the city of Winchester and Stanton. But there are many, many, many others.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions from the committee?
Madam Chair.
Delegate Prezek.
So, Senator, it needs at least 25 contiguous acres to be eligible, and the locality has to have 35 square miles.
The locality to qualify with the 25 acres or more for a business pad-ready site has to be 35 square miles in land or less.
Oh, and less. I see. So, thank you.
All right. Is there anyone in the audience who is here to speak in favor of the bill in the room? I know I've got some people online, and I'll get to you in a moment, but anyone in the room who would like to come and speak in favor of the bill? We can do 2 minutes total if you all want to divide that time.
Hi, Angie Bezick on behalf of Washington Gas, and we support the bill and appreciate it and think that this will really help some economic development in some areas that currently just are not able to compete. Thank you very much.
Madam Chair, members of the subcommittee, Zach Lemaster with Gentry Locke here on behalf of the Southern Environmental Law Center, and we support the bill.
Thank you.
Hi, Madam Chair. I'm Laura Bateman, representing Virginia First Cities Coalition, and 11 of our 18 members would love to be able to use this, so we're very supportive. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the committee. I'm Sherry Neal, the Intergovernmental Affairs Manager for the City of Portsmouth. We thank Senator Jordan for bringing this forward, and we definitely support it, and we hope that you'll pass it. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the room here to speak in opposition to the bill? All right, seeing no one, I'm going to turn online. I've got William Johnson, if you can unmute.
Good afternoon. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you, Senator Jordan, for bringing this bill forward. The city of Emporia definitely supports this bill because it will allow us to create jobs and increase our tax revenue. Thank you.
Great, thank you. And then also Mr. Brian Donahue.
Yes, good afternoon, Chair and members of the committee. On behalf of the City of Portsmouth Economic Development Office, we're asking for your support of this legislation. It provides economic opportunity for smaller communities in the Commonwealth to compete and bring economic success to our locality. So again, thank you for the opportunity to speak in support.
All right, thank you. All right, any other comments from the committee, or do we hear a motion?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to report the bill. Clerk will open the roll.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee.
Thank you, Senator. Bill report 6-0. All right, we've got two other bills before us, but we do not have patrons in the room. I know we have paged them. Am I right? Am I missing anybody? Nobody's hiding behind the podium, or they've. All right, senators have been paged. I know. If you want to speak. I think what we can do is go at ease for a few moments and give those senators an opportunity to come, and we will come back online as soon as we're ready to proceed. So the committee is at ease. Committee will come back to order. All right, Senator Serville, you've got Senate Bill 1008.
Yeah, and this, thank you, Madam Chair. So this, I know Delegate Krizek is very familiar with this situation. He and I have both been fielding constituent headaches about this for a long time now. But this legislation has to do with problems in resource protection areas. Delegate Krizek and I both represent a big chunk of Fairfax County, Potomac River shoreline in Fairfax County. And because we're within the Chesapeake Bay watershed, it's all subject to the Chesapeake Bay Act. And one of the recurring problems that we seem to keep having in the area is contractors who come in and tell people that they can do things inside of RPAs, specifically on shorelines, that they're not allowed to do. And we end up having homeowners getting these stop work orders issued because they go to replace an existing wall on their shoreline. And then that creates a whole cavalcade of headaches and problems, and they got bad advice from the contractor. We adopted a living shoreline law about, I think it was, we adopted a living shoreline mandate, I want to say, about 3 or 4 years ago. And anytime you build a new wall, you have to do it, but there's also some grandfathering involved, and these contractors don't know the difference between grandfathering and new. And so anyway, we took a bunch of testimony in the Water Commission on this about almost a year ago now. And one of the solutions that came out of the Water Commission meeting was a suggestion that contractors be educated about or should be able to demonstrate knowledge about the Chesapeake Bay Act so that they're not putting all their clients in these positions. And that's basically what this bill does. I've heard some complaints from DPOR about why they should have to treat every single contractor the same. They talked about a subclassification, but then they came back and said they didn't want to do that. And so the bill has basically been unchanged since it was introduced.
All right, thank you, Senator. Any questions from the committee? Is there anyone here to speak in favor of the bill?
I could get an army of people from Delegate Krizek and my districts to come speak to it, but I didn't ask them for that.
Anyone here to speak in opposition to the bill? And then we'll turn to questions from the committee after that.
Got the master binder in front of me.
Yeah, that's right.
Madam Chair, Andrew Clark with the Home Builders Association. Not so much opposed to the underlying concept, which is protecting shorelines, protecting RPAs. I think including a requirement for all Class A and Class B contractors to answer a few questions essentially in an exam. It's not going to really fix the underlying problem, which are twofold, as I'm told from Fairfax and other localities. Homeowners who decide to undertake these projects by themselves, not knowing that the RPA has a layer of restrictions on it. And then to Senator Serville's point, contractors who come in and say, I'll do it fast, I'll do it cheap. And, the homeowner just assumes that the contractor is acting in good faith. A lot of these contractor firms are small out-of-town shops that will come through, disappear after the project's done. And so I think maybe a more practical or effective approach is just really making sure that during the transaction, the homeowner is aware that you have a piece of restricted property on you have restrictions on your property that prohibit sheds, managed landscaped areas, a whole list of things that you can and cannot do. And I know that's a concept constantly discussed, but localities I've spoken to, this is a problem up and down the coast, and I think you're going to see more homeowners. It's a better deterrent if homeowners understand that there are financial and legal consequences of violating those RPA requirements. So we do oppose the bill, would appreciate maybe a year to work through it and find some alternatives that would essentially kind of give homeowners some more protection. rather than imposing this on contractors who may or not be affected by it. So thank you. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Delegate Kuzik.
I have a motion at the appropriate time.
Are there any other questions from the committee? And Senator Servo, I'll give you the opportunity to respond in any way and have a final word on the bill before motions are heard.
Respond to that.
Whatever you'd like to respond to, Senator.
Okay. I just don't think adding a couple questions to an exam is that big of a burden to ask. And the problem is bigger than just shorelines, as I said. I mean, I had a case that got litigated about 2 years ago where somebody decided to dump 300 dump loads of dirt in somebody's backyard right in the middle of an RPA in Fairfax County. And the lady ended up having a free dirt problem, became a $400,000 problem. And, these people need to be advised about these contractors need to be advised about these laws so that we don't have these kinds of problems. So I would hope we can pass it.
Madam Chair.
Delegate Kuzik.
Yeah, and I'll note that this passed the Senate 38-0. I would like to move to report.
All right, moved and seconded to report the bill. Clerk will open the roll. Clerk will close the roll, and the bill report 6-1. Thank you, Senator.
Thank you.
All right, Senator Russ, you have 1430, Senate Bill 1430.
Yes. Hi, Madam Chair. SB 1430. And do we have a committee substitute or no? We do? We don't have a committee substitute? Okay. Did we must already moved it in the House?
Okay.
Okay, great. I mean, the Senate.
No substitute.
No
Gotcha.
substitute.
All right.
Thank you. SB 1430 will strengthen protections against evictions and foreclosures for furloughed federal workers and contractors during the federal government shutdown. The language that has before you should extend. We adopted this up to in the Senate for furloughed workers foreclosure protection from 30 days to 60 days to bring it in line with the eviction protection, which is already 60 days in current law. The bill also removes the 14-day minimum length of a government shutdown that is currently required before the eviction and foreclosure protections take place. There's a very real potential for a government shutdown this year, and so it's vitally important that we are fully prepared to stand behind the workers and their families who are most affected, and this bill will help ensure that they do not lose their homes simply because of temporary delay in their pay to no fault of their own. And that is the bill before you.
Thank you, Senator. Any questions from members on the committee? Seeing none, I will open it to the room. If there is anyone here who would like to speak in favor of the bill, please come forward. And we'll limit testimony to 2 minutes.
Madam Chair, members of the subcommittee, Christy Mara for the Virginia Poverty Law Center, just speaking in support of the bill and thanking the senator for putting it forward.
Thank you. All right, anyone here in opposition to the bill? Do we hear a motion? You can ask.
Madam Chair.
Yeah, Delegate Krizek.
Senator, this is a great bill, and it's very, as you mentioned, it could be necessary. I was thinking it could be necessary pretty soon.
Yes, sir.
And maybe what we should try to do is put an emergency clause on it. Is that something you contemplated, or?
That, Madam Chair, Delegate Krizek, yes, absolutely. That's something we contemplated, and I would not be opposed to having an emergency clause on.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you hear a motion to that to add?
Yeah, I move that we put an emergency clause on the bill.
Sorry, moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, Delegate Leftwich.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Senator Rouse, I certainly agree with the extending it from 30 to 60 days because nothing happens in 30 days. But and I'll be honest, I haven't read the entire bill. I haven't processed the whole thing. But I'm curious as to why we're taking out for a period of 14 consecutive days. It seems like leaves, what's the purpose of taking that out? And it seems like, in a cursory reading, that it could be shut down for like a half a day or a day. And but so anyway.
Thank you. Madam Chair, Delegate Leftwich. We took that out because if the government happily goes beyond 14 days, this would kick in place. It's my understanding that the 14-day minimum length of government shutdown is currently required before eviction and foreclosure protections take place. We not even get to the 14-day period, but if the government shuts down beyond that, and then this gives the protections kick in.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions from the committee? Delegate Leftwich, do you have a follow-up,
no,
or are you still on the board? Okay.
I was trying to turn my mic off.
I know, I do that too. All right, any other questions from the committee? We already asked for testimony, so if we don't have any other questions, we'd be open for a motion.
I move to report with the amendment.
Moved and seconded to report with amendment. Clerk will open the roll. All right, clerk will close the roll. Bill reports 5-2.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the committee.
It was 39-1.
I know, so we are at the end of our docket, and I believe this was the last subcommittee meeting for this session, so I want to thank everybody for your work on this subcommittee this year, and it's been a pleasure to work with you all, and I'll see you in the full meeting shortly. We are adjourned.